Hello everybody and welcome back to Harvest Moon Tree of Tranquility. We have started off new on the 5th day of spring, right at 6 o'clock in the morning, so we have a full day ahead of us. The first thing we're going to do obviously is we're going to do our daily watering. We should still have plenty of stamina left in the day since we didn't have to pull any weeds or till any soil, but it's always best just to get this done first. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go around the map. We've already met some of our neighbors, but I'm going to take the time to meet some new people and to maybe go into some stores and businesses to see what it is that they actually sell. Waffle Town is one of the only areas that we've actually seen quite a bit of so far. If you want to know the business hours of a store, generally they will always have a sign outside or show you when they are closed and the hours. Most places open at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, so 7's a little bit early. So we can visit the Sunday Inn today. We can visit the general store. I think the clinic is also open. And town hall as well. And additionally, we also have on the hook, if I can read the sign at what time it opens. It looks like they're actually open the longest, from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So let's go ahead and start here, seeing as how they are open so early. And obviously here is where we can buy fish. Most of these fish you can catch. I think all of them actually you can catch. We may not be able to do it with a low-level fishing rod. And these fish are also grilled, which means that they've been cooked. So this is not a terribly useful store in terms of products that they have to sell. I can see you probably buying some of these things if you really want to give someone a gift, if they happen to like some of these fish, or you wanted to eat it or something like that. But Ozzy doesn't really have a lot here that we would want to buy. But we can work for him part-time, and most stores and businesses will allow us to work part-time. And basically what part-time work is sacrificing part of your day to work at a business, and at the end of the day they will pay you a little sum of money. So this is really good if you're at the end of a day and you want to just make a little bit of additional cash, and it may or may not affect the friendship of the people who work at the business. I honestly don't remember. I'm going to have to look into that. And then generally each store will also have an explanation on whatever it is that they are doing. So Ozzy can remind us about fishing if we've forgotten. Souffle Farm can give us a basic reminder in farming, etc., etc. And I find that every single business is generally closed on either a Saturday, a Sunday, or a Monday. So it's usually Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays that you're going to have the most luck being able to find people at their businesses. And if we walk down the beach from On the Hook, we get to meet a new character. Hello, I've never seen you before. Are you sightseeing? This is a nice place. There are tons of fishing spots around here, and the weather's usually perfect for napping under the trees. I love fishing. I can't imagine making a living any other way. Do you like fishing? Do I ever? That's great! You're pretty cool. Let me give you this fishing rod. Hooray! Free tool. I like that. Okay then, I'll see you around. So Toby will be added to our list of friends, and I believe that he works at On the Hook and that Ozzy is actually his uncle. But Toby also has his own home where we can speak to him as well. So here we are at the general store. We've already met Barbara and Simon, but we haven't had a look at their wares and what it is that they sell. And they sell a variety of different things. So they have 4 different categories: matches and a rattle. Now this is only when you have a baby. Matches are used to cook fish and other food on the beach using a campfire, which we will eventually do at some point. And then the rest of everything that they have in the tools section is basically just you buying an upgrade to your tools. There is a cheaper and more efficient way to do this using the blacksmiths, but if you absolutely cannot find the right piece of ore or you just have a ton of money, you can also buy the upgrades here, which is a good thing to keep note of just in case. They also have some furniture for sale, and furniture allows us to decorate our home. Some of this stuff is useful, some of it is not. The calendar, for example, is going to allow us to see different holidays on the calendar. The TV will allow us to see the weather for the next day. The refrigerator will allow us to store some food. So there are a few items here, but there are also another place where we can buy furniture as well. Books, again, this is just a couple of more books that we can have on our bookshelf. Not necessary, but you can buy them if you want to just complete the game. And then finally, we also have some cooking utensils if we want to start cooking. So the cutting board, the pot, frying pan, oven, the mixer, and the aging pot. And they all just come in different colors depending on what sort of aesthetic you want for your house. They all serve a certain purpose no matter what color you buy, so they actually have a wide variety of really useful stuff for us to buy. But at the moment, there's really nothing useful, especially given our very small amount of cash that we currently have. And at the clinic, we can talk to Irene, who will sell us medicine. So most of this, the Bodagizers and the Stay Awakes, will allow us to recover our stamina, and these are really useful when you're mining or when you're doing something where you need a lot of stamina but you don't want to walk all the way back to the spring. And there is also the possibility of getting a cold in this game, which is when you would buy the cold medicine. So she's got very few things for sale, but we can also do part-time work for her if we want. And that's all for down in this area, so let's go ahead and go to the town square next. On the eastern side here, we have a sign, and it says Darren's Tree. There are a couple of different trees on the island, and these are important in terms of story. So we're going to have to sort of deal with these trees later. I'm going to be pointing out their locations when I see them just to remind people of where they are, but there's really nothing that we can do about it at the moment. If you walk slightly to the left over near the flower beds, you'll trigger this event where we will meet yet another character. That was lovely. Hello. You must be the newcomer my dad was talking about. Let's see, you're Nick, right? You've seen the inn, right? That's my house. I'm Maya. Nice to meet you. Ask my grandma if you want to learn about cooking. My grandma's cooking is the best in town. I keep getting into trouble for stealing food from her kitchen, but I can't help it. Oops, I better get going. Oh yeah, this is for you. And Maya's going to very kindly give us a cookbook. You should read it. See you soon! So that's the daughter of Colleen and Jake, and as she said, she lives at the inn with her parents. So our next stop is going to be the town hall. And this is where you can find Gil and Ellie working, and they each sell you different things. So we'll talk to Ellie first, and what you can buy from her is land. So this is where we can buy all the different plots of land that we had previously seen and I had showed you guys in the last video. So we're living on the town plot right now, but we also have access to buy the other 3 plots of land, and this will give us access to the fields in each of those areas, and once we own the plot of land, that also gives us access to build on it. So we can build up to 4 houses if we want. We can build a barn on each one, a chicken coop, whatever you want. You can have a whole monopoly of stuff if you really wanted to. So if you ever feel like moving or you wanted to buy another plot of land, it would be Ellie who you would talk to. And if we speak to Gil, he doesn't sell us anything, but what he does do is he provides information on residents. So if we want to learn more about Gil, for example, this sheet of paper here is going to tell us everybody's birthday, and it's going to tell us where they live, some of the things that they like, and a brief description of each character. So this is a really good way to sort of get to know everybody and just to learn a little bit more about them, learn when their birthday is and things like that. Birthdays are not actually marked on the calendar at your home, so it's just something that you kind of have to memorize or write down or look up. And then obviously once we get to learn about more people and we meet more people, they will appear here and we can access that information at any time. Now upstairs is the library, and I actually don't recall if there's anything useful in the library. I think it's just a couple of things about the town, some lore type stuff, and I don't really think this serves a whole lot of purpose, so to speak. It's mostly just lore stuff if you really want to learn more about the island, but as time goes on, we're going to learn more about the island just through natural story progression, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. And that's pretty much all there is to what we hadn't seen in Waffle Town last time. So now you can see, once we've met Maya, we can now see her walking around the map, and we can also track her. Until you actually meet her at the square, you won't be able to see her, obviously. I'm just zoning into the Maple Lake district here. We're going to get a nice little overview, and we're going to quickly go over some of what is in this area. It's relatively small, so I'll just do that and then I'll wrap things up. So obviously here is the church. Hamilton explained this is pretty much only used for weddings, so we don't really have much to do there at all. If you read the mailbox, you can see which home belongs to who. This is Myra's house. We have not met her yet, but we will eventually. She works at the blacksmith's, and if we can't find her there, then she'll be around the church. To the west of her, or the east I should say, rather, that's the completely opposite direction, this little house is Jin's house. From Jin's house, we can go a little bit north. This eastern path is going to take us back to where we live. This is going to take us back to the river district. So we don't want to go there just yet. If we continue it along this way, we can go to the mine district. But situated kind of somewhere in the middle of those two shortcuts is another house. And if we read the mailbox, we'll find out that this is actually Toby's house. And right behind Toby's house is another one of these giant trees, and if we inspect it, this one has a blue flower beside it. I think the sign for that tree is actually way over here. Toby loves fishing, which is great because he has his own little dock. So yeah, this is Ben's tree. And this is a little area that you can actually fish in if you so desire. And that's pretty much all that there is for this district. That shortcut is very, very useful. Instead of going through Waffle Town to get back to your house. And this is the mining district. So we've only seen a little bit of this area. Obviously, we saw Souffle Farm, but we haven't seen the rest of this. So this is all going to be sort of new territory to us. I'm going to start by going into Souffle Farm again. Even though we were just here, we can't get away from Craig and Ruth because they're going to be very, very important to us because this is where we're going to be buying all of our seeds. So their stock changes seasonally depending on what is available in the season to grow. So in spring, we have turnips, breadfruit, cabbage, potatoes, and strawberries. And then the mixed bag is basically just going to give you a random assortment of these 5 crops. We've already bought some potatoes and we have them growing, but I'm also going to buy a couple of bags of turnips, and I will probably also buy just another thing of potatoes. Potatoes and turnips grow really, really quickly, so hopefully by planting these and taking care of them, we can start to get our profit going, which is going to be really, really helpful. The next row down, we have tree seedlings if we want to grow trees on our property, and I do believe that they have the same trees in every season because you can plant these at any time because they do take a little while to grow regardless of what season you plant them in. Ruth currently doesn't have any fertilizer available. You have to spend a certain amount of money at Souffle Farm in order to get fertilizer in. And obviously once we do that, we can use it to increase our soil quality. And then finally, the last section here are crops that you can buy from Ruth. They're usually really good quality crops, and these change every season depending on what it is that is available in that season. And we can also do part-time work here and get another rundown of farming in case we forget. But I don't think we're going to forget. I think we're going to be okay. I'll talk to Anessa, say hi to her, because she's sweet. I like her. Not so much her mom and dad, but... Anyways, time passes inside of stores. It doesn't pass inside of our house, but in stores we have to be careful. We're now at 4:20 p.m., which might interfere with us actually seeing some of these other locations. Hopefully not. We're going to try and do as much as we can before the rest of these stores and businesses close. So I'm going to keep it paused. I'm going to end it here, and we will continue on in the next video. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.